Alright, in this video, we are going to solve its O-level mathematics. Course code is 4024. The paper we are going to attempt is October-November 2009 and it's paper 2. So let's start. Question number 1 is from basic algebra. And the first part it says that 2 to the power y is equals to 8. That is basic indices as well. So you can say that 2 to the power y equals to 8 is what? 8 is 2 to the power cube. On both sides we have same basis. That means now you can equate power. So y equals to 3. That is the answer for first part. For second part, it's 3p plus 4 equals to 8 minus 2 and p minus 3. First, we need to simplify the bracket. So it's 8 minus 2p plus 6. On the left side, we have 3p plus 4. Alright, so if you shift minus 2p on the left side, so that will be 3p plus 2p equals to 8 plus 6 is 14, and 4 on the right side it will be negative 4. 3p plus 2p it's 5p equals to 10, and p equals to 10 upon 5, that is equals to 2. That is your first and second part. After that, part C, it says 18 divided by q minus 16 divided by q plus 2 equals to 1. So we are going to take LCM here. So it will be q and q plus 2. So 18 multiplies with q plus 2 minus 16 times q equals to 1. We can expand the bracket here. So it's 18 times q plus 18 2s are 36 minus 16q, and when you shift this bracket on the right side, so it will be multiply with 1, so that will be q times q plus 2. Alright, so it's q square plus 2q, and on the left side we have 18 minus 16, it's 2q plus 36. On both sides we have 2q and 2q, so it cancels, and the leftover part is 36 equals to q square. We need to apply root on both sides to cancel the effect of a square, and root of 36 it equals to 6, right, with plus minus sign. So that is the answer for part C. And in last part it says solve the equation. 5x square plus x minus 7 equals to 0. That is a quadratic equation. The working formula we have is x equals to minus b plus minus under root b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. So value of a we have is 5, b is 1, and c is negative 7. So we need to place the values. So x is equals to minus b, so it's minus 1 plus minus under root b square is 1 minus 4, a is 5, and c is negative 7 divided by 2 times 5. So now it is equals to minus 1 plus minus under root 1 minus minus plus 4 5s are 20 times 7 is 140 divided by 10. So you can solve it. Minus 1 plus minus under root 141 divided by 10. So after solving you will get two answers of x, and these two answers are minus 1.29 and x is 1.09. So both are the possible answers for x. It's question number 2. The topic name is similar and congruent triangles. The question says ABCD is a rectangle. Now I'm going to highlight the important words here. So the first word is rectangle, that is quite useful. Points P, Q, R and S lie on AB, BC, CD such that AP equals to CR and QC equals to SA. Give reasons. Show that the first part, it's PB is equals to RD. So A and part 1. So the length PB and RD, they are equal. We need to show that. So for that part, I can say that AB is equals to CD, right? And the reason is what? Because we are dealing with a rectangle. Alright, so AB equals to CD, or we can say that AP equals to RC, and the reason is what? It is given, right? So when I subtract AP from AB, so on your diagram from AB, the length of AB, if I subtract AP, so the leftover part is PB. Alright, so the leftover part is PB. Similarly, if I apply the same strategy on the length CD, so I can say that CD minus RC, and it is equals to RD. Now, if you observe that AB equals to CD because it is a rectangle, AP equals to RC because it is given, that means on both equations the left hand side is equal. So I can say that PB equals to RD. That is your first part answer. All right. In your second part, it says that triangle PBQ is congruent to triangle RDS. So triangle PBQ is congruent to triangle RDS. Now we need to prove it. So firstly, I can say that PB is equals to RD, and the reason is what we had shown it in first part, right? PB is equals to RD, we had shown it. Secondly, we can say that PBQ is equals to R angle RDS, and this is equals to 90 degree because all angles in a rectangle is 90 degree. All right, so in your figure you can see that this angle B and this angle D is a 90 degree. And lastly, I can say that BQ is equals to SD with the same approach in which I had shown that PB is equals to RD. With the same approach, I can say that if BC and AD are equal, in which QC and AS is same as given, so SD and BQ are equal. So with those three properties stated in the first, I have shown that side, angle and side, right? With the property of side angle at side, I proved that triangle PBQ is congruent to triangle RDS. That is your answer of second part. So moving on to the third part, in which it says that RPQ equals to PRS. All right. So first I'm going to highlight those angles with the red pen. So RPQ, it means that we are talking about this angle RPQ, right? And it is equals to PRS. That means we are talking about this angle PRS. We need to show that this angle is same, and it is a 3-mark question. That means we need to prove it with properties, with different properties, right? So let's suppose I'm saying that this angle, we say that the angle is DRP, right? So angle DRP is equals to angle BPR, right? Angle BPR, and the reason that they are equal is because they are alternate angle, right? Since it is a rectangle, so we know that the lines are parallel, so we have alternate angles here. And for second reason, I'll say that the angle DRS, right? Angle DRS is equals to angle, this one, the small angle here, angle BPQ. And why they are equal? Because we have proved in A part 2 that these two triangles are congruent, right? So if the triangles are congruent, that means all the angles and sides are equal. Now once we had finalized these two angles that they are equal, and we had also mentioned the reason that why we are saying that the angles are equal. Now from your figure, if you see that if I subtract the yellow angle from that blue angle, so it will be left with the red angle, right? Similarly here, if I subtract that yellow angle from the blue angle, so it will be left over with angle red. And we had already proved that these two angles are equal, these two angles are equal. So now the final step, it will be D angle DRP minus angle DRS is equals to angle, the red one angle is PRS. All right, and now I will say that angle, this blue angle on the right side, it's BPR, angle BPR minus angle BPQ. Now the red angle, that is QPR or RQP, whatever you can write, RPQ, right? And we had already shown that these two angles are same, right? Which two angles? Angle DRP and angle BRP is same, right? And angle DRS and angle BPQ is same. We had shown it. So now I can say that angle, sorry, I can say that angle PRS is equals to angle RPQ, and we need to show this thing in part 3. Last part, state the special name of quadrilateral PQRS. Now we had proved that these two angles are equal, so that means now we are dealing with a parallelogram. So that is your B part answer. Question number 3 from the topic trigonometry. It says that a small submarine dived in a straight line from a point A on the surface to examine an object at the point W on seabed. It divided an angle of 15 degree to the horizontal uh, W after traveling 50 meter. Calculate depth D meters of the seabed at W. So you need to find that length D. A very simple question. We can easily use sine here. So that will be sine 15 is equals to opposite divided by hypotenuse, right? So by easily doing the cross multiplication, you will get D is equals to 12.9 meters, and that is your answer. All right. Now next one. A marker is at the point M on the surface. When at B the submarine was 10 meter vertically up below M. Calculate AB. Now you need to find the length of AB. Again, a simple question. Again, by using sine, it will be sine 15 is equals to opposite divided by hypotenuse, that is the length of AB. If you make AB the subject, so that will be 10 divided by sine 15, right? So when you divide it, you will get the length of AB, and that will be 38.6 meter. That is your second part B answer. After that, it says in part C, when at sea the submarine was at its nearest point. Now there is a there is a keyword of nearest point. It refers to a property here. To M, find DMC. So what you need to find, you need to find this angle here, right? But before that, if I draw the triangle MAB only, right? So look closely here. If I draw the triangle MAB only, it's M, A and B, right? So here you have 90 degree, here you have 15 degree as it is given. So by adding these two and subtracting from 180, you will get the angle B, and it will be equals to 90 minus 15, that leads to 75 degree. All right, so you got your angle B 75 degree. Now in your figure, this one, in your figure you have the angle B, and that is 75 degree, right? Now the key point is nearest point indicates that the angle C is at 90, right? That is the statement, and that is meant by nearest point to M. Now you have three angles of the triangle, right? M, C and B. You have angle 75, you have angle 90. So you can easily find out the third angle, and that will be 15. All right, so that is your part A answer. All right, so the answer of this part is 15. And after that, it's part B, calculate CM. So to find the length of CM, again you can use trigonometry here. So hypotenuse and adjacent, right? So you can apply cos, it will be 15. Adjacent is what? Adjacent is CM, and hypotenuse is what? It's 10. So by doing cross multiplication, you will get the value of cm, and that is 9.66 meters. That is your answer. All right, it's question number 4. You have universal set. It's from 1 till 15, all the numbers. L is odd numbers, so in order to write the L set, we need to pick all the odd numbers. So it's 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13 and 15. These are all the odd numbers. Multiple of 3, we have 3, 6, 9, 12 and 15, right? In the first part, it says that the common element of L and M. So I need to highlight those elements here that are common between L and M. So 3 is common, right? 9 is common, and I think that's it. 15. 15 is common, right? So you got three elements, and the answer you will write it's 3, 9, and 15. That is your first part answer. After that, it says L complement intersection M, right? So if you find L complement, that means you need to subtract L from universal, or every element except L, right? So if you subtract L from universal, what you will get? You will get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. That means all the even numbers. Now what is common between the even numbers and your set M? So I will write M here, and the elements of M we have is 3, 6, 9, 12, and 15. I need to highlight the common elements, and the common elements is 6 and 12, right? So the answer for L complement intersection M is 6 and 12. That is your second part answer. In part 2, it says a number n is chosen at random from universal set. Find the possibility that n belongs to L union M. So if you find L union M, it will be equals to 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, 9, 11, 12, 13, and 15. So how many elements we have here? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? So probability is equals to 10 divided by total elements we have is 15. So after simplification, that will be 2 upon 3, and that is your second part answer. All right. For part 2, it is from the sets. In a survey, a number of people were asked, do you own a car and do you own a bicycle? The Venn diagram shows the set C of car owners and the set B of bicycle owners. The letters P, Q, X are the number of people in each subset. 11 people own neither a car nor a bicycle. A total of 66 people own a car. So if I talk about the number of persons who own a car, so that means I'm talking about this shaded circle, right? So just for the explanation, that is basically car. So I can say that it's P plus Q equals to 66. That is meant by this statement. 4 times as many people own a car as own a bicycle only. So the number of persons who own a car, that means P, is 4 times of those who own a bicycle, right? So write down an expression in terms of x for p. So that is your first part answer, that p equals to 4x. If it talks about q, so we know that p plus q equals to 66, and I'm going to place the value of p here, and p is what? P is 4x, so it's 4x plus q equals to 66. You can say that q equals to 66 minus 4x. That is your b part answer. All right, after that, in part 2, it says that a total of 27 people own a bicycle. So a total of 27, if I need to highlight the region here, so the 27 people is basically this region, right? Q and X, that are the these are the people who own a bicycle. So it will be equals to Q plus X equals to 27. You have Q in terms of X, so I will place it. So 66 minus 4X plus X equals to 27. 66 minus 3X equals to 27. 66 minus 27 equals to 3x. 66 minus 27 leads to 39 equals to 3x, and x is equals to 13. Alright, that is third part A answer. And now it says that total number of people who were in the survey. So the number of persons who are in the survey is P, Q, X, and 11 lies outside of the circles. So P is what? P is 4 times of X and 4 times of 13. That will be 52. And Q is what? Q is 66 minus 4X. That means 52. And it leads to 14, right? X is what? X is 13. So now we need to add all those numbers, 52 plus 14 plus 13 plus 11, and that sum up to 90. That is your last part answer. Question number 5 from the topic matrices. It's A part 1. You need to multiply the matrices here. So firstly, you need to multiply 3 by 2, 4 zeros. 3 2s are 6, 3 4s are 12, and 3 zeros are 0, minus 2 1s are 2, 2 6 are 12, and 2 into minus 3 is minus 6. Now we can simplify it. 6 minus 2, it's 4. 12 minus 12, 0, and 0 minus minus plus, that is 6. So it's your first part answer. In part 2, It says that 1 3 4 multiplies with 0 4 3 1 5 0, right? So with the easy approach of arrow method, we can multiply these two matrices very easily. So it will be 1 times 0 0 plus 3 threes are 9 plus 4 fives are 20. Again 1 times 4 is 4 plus 3 ones are 3 plus 4 times 0 is 0. And now it is 20 plus 9 29, and 4 plus 3 is 7. That is your second part answer. In part B, we have matrix A. It's 2 0 minus 3 1, and we need to find A inverse, right? So firstly I will find the magnitude of A, and the working formula is what? It's AD minus BC, right? That is working formula. You have A, B, C and D. So if I place the values here, so that will be equals to 2 times 1 minus b is what? It's minus 3 times 0. So that will be equals to 2. That is the magnitude of A. And for adjoint of A, we need to swap the places of A and D, right? We need to swap the places of A and D. So that will be 1 and 2. And we need to change sign of B and C. So that will be 3 and 0. All right. Now for matrix inverse, the working formula is what? The working formula is adjoint divided by determinant. So the adjoint matrix we have, it's 1 3 0 2 divided by magnitude is 2. So you can write in this form 1 upon 2 multiplies with 1 3 0 2, and that is the answer of your part B1. All right. For B part 2, it says the transformation represented by the matrix A maps Hk onto 10 to find the value of H and the value of K. Alright, the transformation we have is A, and that transformation is 2, 0, minus 3, 1. It transforms the matrix Hk onto the point 10, comma 2. So we need to find Hk. So firstly we need to multiply, and for multiply again we are going to use the arrow method. So that is equals to 2 into h, 2h minus 3k. Again for next one it will be 0 plus k. On the right side we have 10 and 2. Now you can equate these two equations. So first I will equate this one, right? I'm highlighting it. So that will be equals to 2h minus 3k equals to 10, right? Similarly, I will highlight the next one, and that is 0 plus k equals to 2. So 0 plus k, it's basically k, right? So k equals to 2. So you have the value of k, and now we are going to place the value of k here. So it's 2h minus 3 2s are 6 equals to 10. Minus 6 on the right side, it will be 16 equals to 2h, and h equals to 16 upon 2, that is 8. So these are the values of h and k. It's question number 6 from the topic Everyday Mathematics. So question says that 100 grams of spaghetti contains 3.6 grams of fiber. Express mass of fiber ratio mass of spaghetti. So for A part, that is very simple. You have mass of fiber, and that is 3.6 ratio mass of spaghetti. It's 100. So you need to simplify it. So for easy simplification, if I make it 36, that means it will be 1 1 2 3. Now we can simplify it with the table 4. So 4 nines are 36, and 4 times 250 is 1000. So that is your first part answer A, right? For B part, it says a tin contains 210 gram of beans. 100 gram of beans contains 4.5 gram of protein. Calculate the mass of protein in the tin. All right. So if it's 100 gram, the mass of protein we have, it's 4.5 gram, right? So if the tin contains 210 grams, what should be the mass of protein? We need to find out. So by cross multiplication, you can say that 100 times x equals to 4.5 times 210. We need to find the value of x here. So x is 4.5 times 210 divided by 100, and that is equals to 9.45 grams. That is the amount of protein in 210 gram of beans. That is your B part 1 answer, right? So it's B part 2. 100 gram of beans contains 0.3 gram of fat. What percentage of the bean is fat? So that will be quite easy. It will be 0.3 divided by 100 multiplied by 100, so that will be 0.3 percentage, and that is your answer. And for next part, for part 2b, it says the recommended daily amount of fat is 70 grams. Calculate what percentage of the recommended daily amount is in the tin. All right, for b part 3. First thing, it says that in 100 gram of beans, the amount of fat is zero point 0.3 grams, right? That is given. So if a tin has 210 grams, what should be the amount of fat in it? So first we need to find out the value of, let's say I'm not picking x because I've already picked. So let's suppose it's y. So now y is equals to 0.3 times 210 divided by 100, so that is equals to 0.63 grams, right? So that should be the amount of fat in 210 grams of bean. It says that what should be the amount of fat as compared to the recommended percentage. So that will be 0.63 divided by 70 and multiply by 100. So that is equals to 0.9%. All right, that is the answer of B part. All right. Now in part 3, it says that the mass of salt in 100 gram of beans is 1 gram, correct to the 1 decimal place. Calculate an upper bound for the mass of salt contained in the tin. At first, I need to find out the upper bound. All right, so it will be 1 plus, and it says correct to 1 decimal place, so that will be 0.1 divided by 2. It leads to 1.05. And after 1.05, I can do the cross multiplication, that if it's 100 grams, the amount of upper bound is 1.05. When the amount of grams in tin is 210 grams, what is the amount of salt in it? So after doing cross multiplication, it will be 210 multiplied with 1.05 and divided by 100, it's 2.205. That is your answer of third part. All right. After that, part C, a tin of soup contains 166 calories. This is 8.3% of the recommended daily number of calories. Calculate the recommended daily number of calories. So for part C, the recommended calories are 8.3% of Y, that C, that is for calories. I don't know the value of calories. And the amount of calories is 166. All right. So now it's 8.3 divided by 100 of C is equals to 166. By cross multiplication, you will get C equals to 2000. That means it is the amount of recommended calories, 2000 calories. That is your answer of part C. It's question number 7 from the topic mensuration. It says that a fuel tank is a cylinder of diameter 1.8 meters. The tank holds 25,000 liters when full. You have the conversion factor as well. Calculate the length of the cylinder. Give your answer in meters. All right. The working formula for volume of cylinder, it's pi r square h. You have the diameter 1.8, that means radius is half of it, that is 0.9. So its pi, radius is 0.9 square. The value of h is unknown, but you have the volume. The volume in liters, right? So you need to convert in meter cube. So that will be 25,000 divided by 1000. So it will be 25 only. So you will get the height, and that is 9.82 meters. All right. So if you are confused about the volume, so what I did 25,000 divided by 1000 to convert it in meter cube, because the radius is in meters, so that is why we need volume in meter cube. All right, so that is the first part. After that, you have a cross section view containing some fuel. CD is horizontal and is the level of the fuel in the cylinder. AB is a vertical diameter and intersects CD at E, this point. Given that E is the midpoint of OB, all right, show that EOD is 60 degree. The first thing, we know that from O to B the length is 0.9 because that is radius, right? So from O to B the length we have is 0.9. So from O to E, which is exactly half, that will be 0.45, right? So now you have two lengths and we have a right angle triangle here. So it's 2 part A, EOD. So EOD means this angle, and I use a symbol X here. So this angle you can find out by using cos. So it will be cos X equals to 0.45, that is your adjacent divided by hypotenuse. And you can find the angle X equals to 60 degree, that is your A part answer. In the next part it says calculate the area of segment BCD. Alright, so how you are going to find that area? You need to find the area of sector, and then you need to subtract area of triangle to get area of segment. So it's 2 part B, right? First I will find the area of sector, and that is angle divided by 360, and angle, the total angle you have, it's 120 because 60 for the half part. 120 divided by 360 times pi, radius is 0.9 square. So that area is equals to 0.848 meter square, right? That is the area of sector. After that you need to find area of triangle, that is 1 upon 2 A B sine C, right? So A and B is 0.9, that is the radius, and angle between these two lengths is 120. So that area is 0.35 meter square. And now for the area of segment, area of BCD, you need to subtract. So 0.848 minus 0.35, so that is equals to 0.497 meter square, and that is the area of segment BCD. Now in part C it says that the number of liters, that means volume. And for part C, what you can do, volume is what? Volume is the area multiplied by length, right? Area we had find out, it's 0.497. 0.497 multiply the height we have, it's 9.82. We had find it in the first part. So 9.82, that is the height, and you need to multiply it by 1000, and that 1000 I'm writing here, it is because unit conversion. Alright, so after multiplication you will get the volume, and that is equals to 4883, and now the answer is in liters because we have multiplied with the 1000 for unit conversion. Alright, so that is your part C answer. After that, volume of a sphere is known, and it says that the volume of cylinder is 10 times the volume of a sphere. Calculate the length of the cylinder. Alright, so for part B, the condition we have is volume of cylinder is 10 times the volume of hemisphere. Calculate the length of the cylinder. So working formula for volume of hemisphere, it's 2 divided by 3 pi r cube, right? And the value of r we have is the half of 1.5. So 1.5 divided by 2, it's 0.75. So radius you have it 0.75. So 0.75, right? So when you solve it, you will get 8.84. On the left side we have volume of cylinder. The working formula is what? It's pi r square h. Height is unknown but radius is known, that is 1.5. So radius is 0.75. So radius is 0.75. And after solving it, you will get the value of height, that is 5 meters, and that here is your part B answer. Right, it's question number 8 from the graph of functions. It says that the variable x and y are connected by the equation y equals to 4x cube minus 18x square plus 20x, right? So in the first part, you need to find the value when x is 3.5. So just place the value of x 3.5 in that equation, and you will get the value of p, and that is equals to 21. All right. After that, it says using a scale of 2 centimeter represent 1 unit, draw a horizontal x-axis from 0 to 4, and for y-axis it's 1 centimeter represent 2 units, and now you need to draw from -4 till 24. So you need to draw a smooth curve. Alright, so I have drawn the sketch of graph here, right? And now I will plot all those points as you can see on your table. So these are all the points I have plotted with the green pen. Alright, so I've drawn the smooth curve here, So that is the completion of second part. After that, it says use a graph to find the value of x when y equals to 4. So I need to draw the line when y equals to 4 here. That is the line of y equals to 4, and now I will highlight the points at which the line and the curve intersects, and I need to highlight the value of x on these points. The values I got here, it's 0.3, it's 1.4, and the last one it's 2.8. So these are the values of x, and that is the answer of third part. It's 0.3 comma 1.4 comma 2.8. After that, its B part, it says that our rectangular card is 5 centimeter long, 4 centimeter wide. As shown in the diagram, a square of side x is cut off from each corner. The card is then folded to make an open box of height x centimeters. Write down expression in terms of x for the length and width. The initial length we have is x, but we had removed x. Sorry, the initial length we have is 5, and we had removed x and x from the box. So the leftover part, or this length, this portion, it will be 5 minus 2x, and similarly this length we have, it's 4 minus 2x. So that is your first part answer. It's 5 minus 2x and 4 minus 2x. That is your first part answer. After that, show that the volume. So volume is what? Volume of a cuboid is length into breadth into height. The length we have, it's 5 minus 2x. Breadth we have, it's 4 minus 2x, and the box has been folded to the height x. So now that is your volume expression. You need to simplify it. So multiply with 5. So 5 fours are 20. 5 minus 2, it's 10x. Minus 2 into 4, so minus 8x, minus plus. It's 4x square, and outside we have x as it is. So I multiplied those two brackets. I will simplify it. So it will be minus 10, 20, minus 10, minus 8, minus 18x, plus 4x square, and outside the bracket we have x. So now if you multiply the bracket x, it will be 4x cube minus 18x square plus 20x, right? So you need to show the same expression we got here. So that is your part 2 answer. In part 3, which value of x in A3 cannot be the height of a box with a volume of 4 centimeter cube? Now the value of x that cannot be the that we cannot consider is the value 2.8. And why is it so? When you place 2.8 here, right, so that value will be negative. So the value of x that we cannot consider is 2.8, because after that, after the 2.8 values, we have negative lengths and widths. That is not possible. So that is why the value of x cannot be have 2.8, and that is the part third answer. Using the graph paper, find out the greatest possible volume of a box made from this card. All right, for greatest possible value, firstly we cannot consider that portion of the curve, because and that portion we are getting negative values, right? So our graph is restricted till this portion, right? And in that portion where you are getting the highest value, so at this point we are getting the highest value. If I draw the line for the highest value, so that is approximately it's 6.4, right? So the highest value, it's 6.4 according to my graph, but if you are plotting more accurate graph, you will get more accurate answer. In the next part, it says that the height of the box with the greatest volume. All right, so you need to find out the value of x at this greatest volume. So the value of x I'm getting, it's 0.8, and that is the value of x, or you can say the height of the box, because height is equal to x. So you have the value of 0.8 when the volume is maximum. So the value of x is 0.8, and that is your answer. Alright, it's question number 10 from the topic statistics. And in the first part, we need to complete the cumulative frequency table. And how we do that? We just add up the frequencies to find out the cumulative frequency. The first one is still the same. 1 is 1. 1 plus 2 leads to 3. 3 plus 6 leads to 9. After that, 9 plus 34 leads to 43. After that, 43 plus 26 leads to 69. Similarly, 69 plus 8 is 77. 77 plus 2 is 79. 79 plus 1 is 80. So we have complete the table. After that, using a horizontal scale of 2 centimeter represent 50 hours and a vertical scale of 2 centimeter represent 10 bulbs. Draw a smooth CF curve for these brand A bulbs. So I have constructed the axis here as given the scale in the question, and now I will plot the points. At 50 it's 1, 100 it's 3, 150 it's 9, so I will plot the points. So these are all the points I have plotted, right? Now I will join it with the curve. So that is my CF curve for part B. In part C, it says use a graph to find out the median. So for median, what we did is total frequency divided by 2, it leads to 40, and now we need to find out the value at 40. So the value on the x-axis at 40 is equals to, it's 150 and 200, so that is equals to 195. All right, so the median is 195 because one small box is equals to 5 units, right? So median is 195. After that it says 10th percentile. For 10th percentile it's 10 upon 100 multiply with total frequency. So now it is equals to 8, right? So we need to find out the value at 8. At 8 I'm drawing the line here, right? And the value at 8 is equals to approximately 145. All right, so the 10th percentile is 145. That is two part answers. After that, part D, 80 brand B bulbs were also tested, and a report on the test gave the following information: 3 bulbs lasted for 50 hours or less, no bulb lasted more than 350 hours, the median time was 250, the upper quartile was 275, and the interquartile was 75. On the same axis, draw a smooth cumulative frequency curve for the brand Beavers. All right. So with this information, we need to plot the cumulative frequency curve. So I'm going to plot the curve with the red pen. So that is quite differentiable between these two curves. So it says 3 bulbs lasted 50 or less. You got your first point at 50 on the x-axis, and 3 is 1, 2, 3. That is your first point, 50 and 3. No bulb lasted more than 350 hours. Best value, that is 400, no, 350. No bulb lasted more than 350 hours. So at 350 you got a point, and that point is 80. So that is your highest point. After that, it says the median time was 250. So what is median? Median, we had find out it's 80 divided by 2, it's 40, right? So on y-axis you have 40, right? And then x-axis you have 250. So if I write it in coordinate form, so it's 250 on the x-axis and 40 on the y-axis. So let me find 250 and 40, and I will mark the point here. So 250 and 40, that is your median point. All right, after that the upper quartile was 275. So upper quartile is what? Upper quartile is 3 divided by 4 times total frequency, that is 80. 4 ones, 4 20s are 23s are 60. So when you have 60 on the y-axis, you have the value of x-axis is 275, right? So I got a point 275 and 60. So I will make a point here. So 275, this line here, and 60. So that is my point, 275 and 60. All right. And after that, the interquartile range was 75. So interquartile is basically what? Upper minus lower. So we can find out the lower quartile here. So interquartile is equals to upper quartile minus lower quartile, right? Upper quartile is given, and that is 275. Interquartile is 75, and we need to find lower quartile. So lower quartile equals to 200, right? It's on the y-axis, and for x-axis lower quartile is what? It's 1/4 of your total frequency, that means 20. So when you have 200 hours on the x-axis, 20 on the y-axis, so 20, 220, let me mark the point here, 220, that is your point. All right, so you got 5 red points. You need to join them to get a curve. After that, in part E, it says use a graph to estimate the number of bulbs that lasted 260 hours or less. So I will draw the line at 260 hours. So at 260, that is my line, right? So I will uh, extend the line and meeting my curves, both the curves red and blue, and then I will find the value on y-axis for both of the curves. So all right, now I need to find out the value at y-axis. So for brand A, the value on the y-axis is 71. That is your answer, right? And for brand B, the value on the y-axis is 48. That is your answer. In last part, it says which brand of bulbs is more likely to last longer than 250 hours. So first, we need to find out number of bulbs that last more than 250 hours. So at 250, I will draw the line here and find out the number of bulbs for both brands. So for brand B, the number of bulbs that last more than 250 hours are 40 because the value here recorded is 40. So remaining bulbs that last more than 250 hours is also 40. So for brand B, the number of bulbs we are getting is 40. Similarly, for brand A, if I extend the line to brand A, and observe the value, so it's 69. All right, 69 is this value, but we are looking for last more than 250. So what are the remaining bulbs? So for A, the remaining bulbs are 11. All right, so the chances that the bulb lasts more than 250 hours is B is giving more chances as compared to A. So the answer for this part is B. 9. Now it's question number 11 from the topic kinematics. It says that diagram shows a speed time graph of two objects A and B for the first 10 seconds of their motion. Object A traveling at a constant speed of 12 meters per second throughout 10 seconds. Object B started from rest, accelerated at a constant rate, attaining a speed of 20 meters per second after 5 seconds. It then traveled at a constant speed of 20 meters per second. Calculate the distance traveled by object B during this 5 seconds of its motion. Alright. So for first part you need to find distance. That means we need to find out the area here. So for first 5 seconds the shape we are getting is triangle. So area of a triangle is 1 upon 2 base into height. What is the value of base? Base is 5 and height is 20. Alright. So base is 5 and height is 20. Two ones, two tens are, and 10 fives are 50. So that is the answer, 50 meter of first part. After that, part 2, the average speed of object B for the first 10 seconds of its motion. For average speed, the working formula we have, average speed is equals to total distance divided by total time. So first I need to find out the total distance, and I need to find the distance from 5 till 10 because 0 to 5 distance I find out it's 50. So for 5 to 10 the shape we have is rectangle, and area of rectangle is length into breadth. Length is 5, that is the difference of these two, it's 5, and height or breadth is 20. So 5 times 20 is 100. Alright. So average speed, that is in the numerator we have total distance. So for total distance you need to add these two values, right? 50 and 100. So when you add them you will get 100 plus 50, it's 150, divided by total time is 10 seconds. So the answer is 15 meters per second, that is your average speed. Alright, for part third, it says the value of t when both objects were traveling at the same speed. So from your graph, if you observe the point where both are traveling with the same speed is this point, right? The speed is same. So let's suppose I'm saying that it is your value t here. Now, you can observe that you are getting two triangles, this one the bigger triangle, right, and the smaller one, this one, right. These two triangles are similar, so we are going to apply the concept of similar triangles. For a smaller triangle, if the base is t and height is 12, so it's t divided by 12. For the bigger triangle, the base is 5 and height is 20, so it is equals to 5 divided by 20. With the cross multiplication, you can find the value of t here. So t is 12 into 5 divided by 20. 5 ones are 5, 5 fours are 20, 4 ones and 4 threes are 12. So the value of t is 3 seconds. That is your third part answer. For fourth part, it says the value of t when both objects have traveled the same distance. So if I find the distance at the time we had find in the part 3, so object A and object B, all right. For object A, if we need to find out the value of distance at t equals to 3, so for A, we have a rectangle here, right? And it will be t into 12, area of rectangle length into breadth. So that will be 12 times 3 and it is equals to 36. That is for object A. And for object B, if I need to find out the distance, so I need to apply the working formula for area, and that is equals to 1 upon 2 base into height. Base is 3 and height is 12. So 2 ones are 2 6 are 6 threes are 18. All right. So we can see that when object B traveled 18 meter, object A traveled 36 meter. That means object A is traveling a lot faster or covering more distance. All right. So now we don't have the value of t. Let me suppose that this point x here, at this point they are traveling the same distance, right? So we need to find out the value of x. For object A, the value of x at this point, it will be 12x, because with respect to object A, you are having a rectangle here, right? It is a rectangle here, and the working formula for rectangle is length into breadth. So this value is x and height is 12. So that is your object A. And for object B, firstly, the area of a triangle is complete, and we had find the area of triangle in the first part, it's 50. All right, so it's 50 plus. For area of this part, all right, so the base will be x minus 5 times height, and that is equals to 20. So it will be x minus 5 and times 20. Now in question it says that had traveled the same distance. So now you need to equate these two and solve for x here. And after solving, you will get the value of x at 6.25 seconds. That means at this value, they had both object A and B traveled the same distance. Alright, in part B, it says the diagram shows the distance time graph for the object B. So I have pasted a speed time graph for object B, so we can link these two diagrams. In the diagram, OP is a curve and PQ is a straight line. So you can see that this one is a distance time and this one is a speed time. In the first part, it state the value of D1 and D2. So D1 is basically the distance covered in 5 seconds, and we had find the part in A part 1, and for D1 it's B part 1. What we need to do, we need to find the area of that portion, and we had find it already, and that is equals to 50 meters. That is the value of D1, right? And for D2 we need to find out the total area of object B. We also had find this one, and the answer is 150 meters. That is your first part answer. Second part, what does the gradient of a straight line PQ represent? So what you have is distance and time. So distance over time leads to speed. Alright, so the gradient of a line PQ represent speed. So that is part 2 answer. Next one, write down the gradient of the tangent to the curve at t equals to 2.5. Alright, so when t is equals to 2.5, you need to find out the gradient here. For part 3, we are going to use the same the concept of similar triangles which we had used in the first part. Alright, so for part 3, what I can say that this triangle here 0t and 12, right? So it says at t equals to 2.5. So when the value of time is 2.5, the value on the y-axis we don't know it yet, right? So let me draw the triangle here. So let's suppose that is the triangle, it's 2.5, and this height I don't know, so I label it as y. And the second triangle I have is 5 and 20. So for second triangle we have the values 5 and 20.
with the concept of similar triangles, I can say that it's 5 over 2.5 equals to 20 over y. So y ones are 5, 5 fours are 24 into 2.5, that is equals to 10, and that is your part 3 answer. Now, part C, that is a little bit different. It says that after 10 seconds, both objects slowed down at the same constant rate. Now, the first important word is the same constant rate. And what does it mean? Let me show you what does it mean. If I talk about object A, right? And it says that after 10 seconds, right? So that means the journey we are talking about is after 10 seconds, since object A is moving at a constant speed, right? So if I ask what is the initial speed of A, right? So I'm saying that the speed and initial. So obviously the initial speed of A is 12 because it is constant. If I ask what is the final speed of A, so that will be 0. And why it is 0? Because object and A and B both are comes to rest. Alright. So that means the final speed is 0, and the time take for A to slow down or come to rest is 9 seconds. So T equals to 9. With the help of this data, I can find out the acceleration, which states that final speed minus initial speed, that is 12, and divided by 9. So the acceleration we have is minus 4 divided by 3. Alright, so why we need acceleration is because of this point. Now I'm going to use the same acceleration for object B because both are decelerating with a constant rate, right? Now, if I talk about object B and with the same data, if I'm going to make, the initial speed of object B is not 0 because I am talking about the curve after 10 seconds, right? So after 10 seconds, it means the initial speed of object B is 20, right? The final speed, it will be 0 with the same procedure that it is going to be at rest, right? And the value of time, I don't know it yet, so it is equals to t equals to unknown. All right. So with the same method that I had applied in the A part, I'm going to apply the acceleration, and that is again 0 minus 20 divided by the value of time is unknown, but now the acceleration is known, and that is equals to minus 4 upon 3, which we had find in the part A portion, right? So I place the value here, and since it is a constant rate, that is why we can equate both of the values. So it's minus 20 divided by 3. You can find out the value of t, minus and minus cancel. So it's 3 times 20 divided by 4, and 4 5s, 4 3s are 15, right? So that is the time for B which it needs to rest after 15 seconds. But it says after how many seconds from the start of its motion. So B had covered its distance till 10 seconds, and after 10 seconds it needs 15 seconds to come at rest. Therefore, total time for B equals to 10 plus 15. It leads to 25 seconds. That is your final answer for part C.